The second concept is what I call pre-saling properties. This is a little different. This is where you've actually taken ownership and control of the property. It's in your name. What you're doing is you're making it easier for the next rehabber to step in and do the project. So you're going to go in there and take the edge off the project. You're going to clean up the property, maybe do some minor repairs, and you're going to get property inspections to quantify and identify what it's going to take to rehab that property. The idea here is to take as much guesswork out of the back end after repaired value estimate as possible. And the reason that that's valuable is that, in my experience as a broker, when you can create as much certainty for a prospective buyer, you can increase the price that you can sell the property for. And when you have demonstrable documentation that's credible about how much it's actually going to cost to fix that, that second investor can come in, take that property, buy it from you, knowing that within a few bucks, it's going to end up being the way it was supposed to be. So here's one way of enhancing the value of a pre-sale property. I have a property listed in Walnut Creek, and in its current state of condition, it's not financeable through an institutional lender. So there's a couple of ways we could go with the property. We tried to sell this to an investor off market prior to going up for sale on the MLS, and we found out that the highest we could get for the property was about $350,000. That number was too low for the seller to be comfortable with that number. So what we did before we went on the MLS is we went out and got the property inspections, and the seller hired a 203K consultant to come out and do a write-up for the estimated cost to repair the property. So what we're doing here is we're positioning this property to be financeable through institutional financing. When you do that, you've opened up your market, your buyer pool, to the entire market. In other words, the owner-user market. In my experience in brokering properties, the bigger the buyer pool, the higher the price you can get for the property. So prior to positioning this as a 203K property, this property was really only sellable to a cash investor and fewer people that had the cash. Well, now because of the 203K loan, we have it on the MLS at a higher price at $399, and we're attracting owner users to the property who can put a loan on this to finance it. So to illustrate that, I'm going to hand out these flyers. You can take a look at how we're marketing the property. I'm going to pass those out. Thanks. So what's cool about this loan is it's one loan that the borrower obtains for the purchase price and for the estimate to repair it. So in this case, if the asking price is, for the sake of round numbers, $400,000, and the estimate to repair the property is $100,000, then the buyer is applying for one loan at $500,000. Once that loan is approved, they pay my client the $400,000 at closing. The property transfers title as is. The seller does no fix-up work whatsoever. And now there's $100,000 sitting in a reserve account and an escrow account for the buyer to tap into through their contractors to remodel the property. So this is a way to increase the potential profit on the property, and the loan amount can be up to 110% of the after repaired value. This property, by my estimation, if it were remodeled properly, would probably sell for about $550,000, maybe $575,000. So we're at $500,000 with the estimate to repair and the purchase price. So there's a little room in that. You can go up to 100% on the after repaired value on condominiums. So another key thing is the buyer can finance up to 6 months of their carrying costs, their house payments, into the loan amount. So if it's a significant project like the one I have in Walnut Creek and the buyer's concerned about how do I carry the property while I'm paying rent or the mortgage payment on the property I currently own, you can build the payments into that as well and finance it over 30 years. This is a great solution for fixer-uppers. At the end of the road, the buyer can put down as little as 3% to buy this property. And so, once again, we've just increased the buyer pool for this fixer-upper that's non-financeable through institutional financing the way it is by repurposing and positioning the property ahead of time with this loan. And the process for the renovation loan is fairly straightforward. The typical cost for a 203K loan consultant is about $350 to do the write-up. They come out and they do a detailed analysis. And if you have the structural pest control report in place, that's a good anchor point for them to draw data from for their write-up. And it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get the report, and then you're pretty much ready to go to market as is, where is.